Hi friends, this is chapter 42 of Right to Recall Party Manifesto, Improving Electricity Production and Supply. Right to Recall Party Manifesto you can download from rahulmehta.com/301.htm. I repeat, rahulmehta.com/301.htm. Chapter 42. Now, how can electricity supply? Two things can be increased without nuclear power plants. Of course, I support nuclear power plants. They should be 100% made in India. I oppose imported nuclear power plants. And how can supply be improved so that there is no power cut? How can we reduce power cut? By controlling consumption, not load shedding. Load shedding means you cannot get power, period. But those who are consuming too much have to be forced from market forces, not by government law, but forced by market forces to reduce consumption. How can that be done? So I have described the law. So first goal is to have power to everyone 24 hours a day. Enough power to at least run a fan and tube light, and that should be able 24 hours a day. And so what are the law drafts I am proposing? First is right to recall our state electricity minister, central electricity minister, state electricity regulator and central electricity regulator. So right to recall over these four authorities will improve the efficiency of the administrative staff below them. Now, what is the technical system to ensure that there is power is available 24 hours? That the minister will give estimate on what will be the electricity production. So let us say per capita electricity production, and in that country nation, that will be given by central electricity minister and state on the power plants which are owned by the state government. Now 1/3 will be used by central government for consumptions of central government such as military and other units, on all central government unit, and whatever the electricity state is producing, 1/3 will be kept by the state for its own use, and the remaining 2/3 will be equally distributed among citizens. How? So it is not that everybody will get equal number of electrons or equal number of electricity power, but they will get right to consume, transferable right to consume. So what is the exact procedure I have described in section 42.3? That let us say your right to consume in a particular month is 40 units. So a person can allocate his rights in a particular percentage proportion to 5 users. How? Let us say I myself is one user, I call it A, or my meter number or serial number, connection number, and I say that 20% should be given to me, or certain number of units should be given to me. So my quota is 40 units in that particular month, of which let us say I say that 30 units should be given to me, 10 units should be given to account number B, whosoever is. And what will B give me? That is between me and B. The government will not interfere. I can change my quota any day, and the next month change my receiver any day, and next month my quota will be transferred to that particular person. So that way transferable quota is there. So I know that my connection number, my meter, I am entitled to consume, let us say 100 units in a month. How do I know that? That I have 5 family members, each family member has 40 units. So from each family member I have moved, let us say 20 units into my meter, and 20 units I have sold off to somebody else. So up to 100 units I will be charged 2 rupee per unit production cost, and whatever more unit I consume than what was allocated to my meter, I will have to pay 2 rupee per unit plus a huge fine which could be anywhere from 10 to 15 rupees per unit. So what does this mean? That a person will have to plan out his consumption, that how much is he going to consume in a given month, and he will have to acquire that many units. Right to consume units means he will have to acquire that many right to consume units before the month starts or before end of that month, and at the end of the month, if he manages within that, he will be given 2 rupee per unit. Whatever less he consumes, he will be given 2 rupee per unit for that, and whatever he has sold, that is between him and the buyer, how many unit he gets. So what is the advantage of the system? That everybody gets either 40 units per month, or if he does not get, if he, let us say he does not have electricity connection at all, he does not have even a fan tube light in his home, his village does not have it, then he will get money equivalent to 40 unit. Whatever, what is money equivalent to 40 unit? Whatever is the market price for right to consume that 40 units. So what will be its approximate effect? I'll give you some number by giving data I have given in section 42.4. That in 2009, slightly old data, 2009, per capita consumption was 612 unit. What is unit? Kilowatt hour. Kilowatt hour is the electricity unit. Kilowatt hour is roughly, how much is 1 kilowatt hour? 1 kilowatt hour, typical tube light is 60 watt. Typical tube light is 60 watt. That tube light can run for 16 hours with 1 unit of electricity. Or one fan can run for 16 hours. And if a family runs a bulb for 8 hours a day and fan for 12 hours a day, then that family will consume 438 units, roughly say 450 units a year. Now of course you have other appliances like refrigerator, air condition, then you will need lot more. Air condition is the biggest electricity consumer. It consumes, its electricity consumption is almost 20 to 30 times that of tube light, maybe more. So now once you have this equal allowance over electricity, equal allowance of electricity will mean that 600 unit is the production, so about 200 is taken by government, 400 per person per year is right citizen will have to consume. So 400 per person per year will translate into, in per month basis it will translate into about 35, say 35 units per person per month. So family of 5, husband, wife, 2 children, maybe a senior citizen parent will be allowed to, will have consumption right of 1 for 280, roughly 330 units, 320 units per month. So if they are consuming, so the person can allocate that my meter number, I am allocating it 50 unit per month or 100 unit per month, and I am allocating remaining number of unit to this particular company or this particular entity, whichever entity it is. So now he has allocated 100 units for his connection, so his electricity bill every month for that particular month should be below 100 unit. For that he will have to pay 2 rupee, which is the electricity cost. If he consumes less, he will be given 2 rupee back, and for remaining 220 unit which he allocated to somebody else, that particular company will give him whatever is the cash, which is the market price of electricity consumption. So that this system ensures that everybody's, the right to consume that is allocated to each person is roughly equal to the production. So the consumption will never exceed production or rarely exceed production, and therefore there will not be load shedding and everybody will get electricity 24 hours a meter. Of course you can increase electricity production, but that takes time. Even if we start working today, it will take at least 5 years. Now what are the problems? The biggest problem is the judges. The judges keep throwing stay order. Why? Because the foreigners are giving money. For example, now all dams you see, Narmada Dam got delayed for 40 years. Why? Because the foreigners had bribed, had given a lot of money to relatives who were lawyers who were relatives of judges, and so the stay order was thrown. They did not want India to develop. The foreigners don't want India to develop, so they will hire some NGO who will make noise here and there. But that NGO does not do much. I really would not blame those NGO. They are just a noise maker. They are everywhere in the world. The person who threw stay order was the judge, and because of that judge's stay order, the construction got delayed by 40 years. And so right to recall judge will reduce that problem. Once we have right to recall judges, the citizen can expel the judges who are creating problems in electricity production, and that way the electricity production will increase. But while that electricity production increase, because that itself will take at least 5 to 10 years, or at least 5 years, meanwhile we can have this equal allowance over electricity system which will ensure 24-hour electricity. So what you can do, I would request you to read the draft section 1.3 of this book and ask the ministers, MP, MLA, PM, CM, whosoever you know, to print 1.3 in the Gazette. Thank you.